Okay, guys, are we ready to rock? Let's roll our sleeves up and get stuck in. Okay, so what we're going to do first. This is going to be a really short training. As I think I told you in the introduction, I'm going to keep these things super short. I want you to get in, watch it, and then just take action. Okay. So, in this first lesson, we're just going to run through the opportunities that are out there for you. We're going to do a little bit of an audit of your current sales makeup. And we're going to figure out where the growth and those that flood of sales and bookings is going to come from. So I'm just going to grab my slides up and we'll dive in. Alrighty, so I have a lot of conversations with tour and activity experienced business owners. You know, I've got hundreds in my inner circle. I've got a greater community of thousands, and I have a lot of conversations. And most of those conversations, almost the majority of them, are about sales, bookings, revenue, and generally speaking, how I can get more of them. Okay, so what I usually find when I'm talking to business owners is something like this. All right, so I've got a bit of a pie chart here that shows you generally what I see and what I hear from tour business owners is that they've got just a couple of sales channels. Now, this is not, representative of all of them. Some of them might be quite the reverse, where they've got a massive chunk of their sales are derived through a direct channel, that being organic or through paid ads. And then the majority or the remainder is made up through OTAs. Or it could be something along the lines of this, where you've got 80% of your sales coming through one or two or maybe three OTAs. Generally, it's only one or two. And then they do like a chunk of direct sales through organic strategies or paid ads. So that is what I see most often, okay? So the way my business differed and the way that I like to teach others how to grow their business, this is what the sales in my business looked like when I sold it in 2017. I'll just walk you through it. So 31% of my bookings came through travel agents. The next was my corporate business. So that's corporate being like direct outreach. Okay. What I see is that you've got strategies that you can attribute to direct outreach and others that you can attribute to direct organic. I'll explain what I mean by that. Some may not see it the same way as I see it, whatever. Like, this is the way I see it, and I think it'll sound logical to you as well. So going around, and I've told you guys that, when I sold my business, I was doing about $3 million a year. Okay. So 31% through travel agents. Okay. And of that 31%, I could break it down. I'll show you a quick chart in a second, broken down into probably 20 to 30 really key supporters of my business. So key agents. So, quite a bit of diversification, even in that 31%. Okay. There was no, eggs in one basket type situation with one agent. Next, hotels and accommodation providers. So that's like hotel concierge. That's, the other like directors of sales and marketing in hotels that deal with incoming inbound groups, and also other accommodation providers, Airbnb hosts and property managers, things like that. Other resellers, a small chunk as well. So, like it could be, visitor centers and things like that. So I've got my resellers that's down this side here, to which I paid commissions. And then over here, we've got direct channels. So there was obviously the direct organic, which is, people finding my site and booking, booking through the website. So we had a mob that looked after our SEO, and we had some pretty good results there and generated a reasonable amount of our revenue through direct organic. And then the other direct channel, I got a direct, obviously, because we weren't paying commissions to the corporate market. So that was 22%. Things like, team building days, reward and recognition programs, management retreats. I'll tell you more about the corporate market in a second. And that was purely outreach. That there, I'm not attributing any corporate customers who just Googled around, found us online and booked. Okay. That would fall under direct organic. So this is purely outreach strategies. Okay. So 22%, or let's say, what are we talking about? 600,000 or 650,000 a year through our outreach strategies. And then the other remainder there, the 12%, was for partnerships and collaborations. Again, direct outreach. So clubs, groups, societies, membership organizations, things like that that we figured shared a customer, or our customer, or like one of our ideal customers or most represented type of customers would be accessible through that club or society or membership organization or something like that. So that was the way my sales kind of wagon wheel looked. And that's the way that I want yours to look in a short period of time, or at least get the foundation in place so that you can very quickly build out, a wagon wheel like that, doing crazy revenue compared to what you're doing right now. Hopefully that makes sense. So what I want you to do right now, just take 5 minutes, could even take you 2 minutes, one, whatever, but just hit pause on this video and do a little bit of an audit, okay? Where are your sales coming from at the moment? What does your wagon wheel, your pie chart look like, all right? Take a second and pause the video and just think about it, okay? I'm going to introduce a few ideas and concepts here that you may not have considered before, but most of them you probably have. Like, most of them you've thought, no, we really should do this, or we really should do that, or we really should try to attract that type of customer. Or you might have even had some success and thought, wow, we did this amazing group of X from, destination Y. Wouldn't it be great to get more of those, but you just don't know how to, okay? So what we want to do now is just run through a whole bunch of different ideas of different types of channels through which you might be able to find your ideal customer, okay? And you might even have more ideas that I don't even, consider or raise here. You might not, but what I want you to do is just start, getting excited, getting energized, getting creative, getting those thoughts and ideas popping about how you could grow the business, who you could serve, and how you could potentially reach them, okay? So the first one, agents. Now, for me, it was like the holy grail. Look, a lot of you, might work, with online travel agents, but a lot of you might have, not had a lot of success working with travel designers, travel consultants, destination management companies, itinerary creators, mobile travel agents, both domestically and, globally, both, like local agents and also inbound agents. So for me, it was pretty much the cornerstone of my sales in my business. So if you've and a lot of times I speak to operators and they say, oh, yep, we've worked with one or two agents who found us and they sent us a few bookings and that was great. But no, we don't know where to find more of them. We don't know what they want. We don't know which type of customers they serve. And we just don't know how to attract more agents into our business. And, what I want to do through this program is just show you in a really simple, methodical way where to find them, what to say, and how to win their business, okay? So to give you a sense of what it looked like for me, this is a bit of a rough old report that I pulled out of the archives recently. And this, and remembering when I started my tour business, I was doing 60 grand a year, total revenue. When I sold it, I was doing $3 million a year. So this was the revenue in the year I sold my business from my top travel agents. So my best agent sent me $230,000 in bookings in the first 9 months. Now, our financial year down here in Australia runs to June 30. So this was only 9 months of bookings. So 230 grand in 9 months. So let's say it might have been 275,000 in the full 12 months. A couple of 100,000 over the full 12 months. 175, 100. So, you can see that there is a massive chunk of revenue that I generated coming from a small selection of trusted agents. Now, the difference between an OTA, an online travel agent, and what I call agents or travel partners is that it's really relationship driven. You build a relationship and you get a lot of great results. And I'm going to show you how to build those relationships with the right sort of agents. Okay. For anyone out there running a small scale business who says, look, I can't imagine, Josh, it's inconceivable to think, we're only doing a couple of 100,000 a year total. Inconceivable to think that one agent might be able to send me that sort of volume of business. I would say for each and every one of those, when I met them for the first time, I was just Josh, a man with a van, with no other tour guides, wearing every hat, and probably doing $60,000 a year. And over a 5 to 6 year period, we grew together. Okay, so massive opportunity that I want you guys to consider. Next one, the corporate market. Have you served the corporate market before? For me, it was an incredibly good decision for me to launch my dedicated corporate event side of my business. And I figured out that there was a great demand in the corporate world for things like team building days, management retreats, pre and post conference tours and events, company Christmas parties, interdepartmental, end of financial year, end of quarter events, reward and recognition programs, client entertainment and client engagement experiences, partner programs. So many, many different types. And a lot of you would be thinking, yes, we've done 1 or 2 of these, or we've had inquiries, but I don't know how to do this on a larger scale. I'm going to show you how to do that. So all you need to do now is make a decision on whether you want to target that type of customer. Okay. Hotels and accommodation providers. Some of you do a lot of bookings through hotels, or some bookings through hotel concierge. Some of them aren't keen on it. Some think they pay, the high commissions that are too high. Others, there's no regularity to it. It's hit and miss or ad hoc. Some of you work with other types of accommodation providers. But what I'm going to show you how to do, and the other thing is that people struggle with, they think, there's just so much pavement pounding, hitting the concierge desk. I've got to be on the road all the time. I've got to be shaking hands, and nothing ever eventuates. So getting some strategies in place that are going to allow you to automate the process of outreach, nurture, warm up, and winning business, okay, through hotels, both front office concierge teams and back office directors of sales and marketing who focus more on the incoming or inbound groups. As I mentioned earlier, property managers, owners of rental accommodation, Airbnbs, things like that. So a lot of strategies there. So whether that is going to apply to all of you as a whole, or whether that may be broken down into hotel concierge and directors of sales and marketing, or marketing teams, and also or accommodation providers. Okay, so next one, school and university groups. Just a gold mine. If you can solve a problem, satiated desire, if you can get into that inner circle, if you could become a part of the plans for the curriculum of that education facility. What I love most about school and university groups is you get like a customer for life, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. The corporate market, you might do a great team building day, and the event manager or the organizer says, look, that was amazing, what can we do next time? Okay, so then you've got to continually create, if you don't have them, new types of experiences. Whereas school and university groups, there's an endless flow and supply of new, customers that are just experiencing the same thing as they go through the grades, in that facility. So, if you could become a part of their furniture, a part of their plans, and if you can, iterate and create an experience that is valuable, that is in line with the type of education that they're trying to provide to their student body. Amazing. So real great opportunity, school and university groups. And on that note, well, sort of flowing on from there, clubs, groups, societies, membership organizations. It could be golf clubs or country clubs, Rotary clubs. It could be elderly citizens. It could be youth groups or scout groups. It could be, groups that have got a passion or an interest in your niche. It could be culinary groups, book clubs. It could be bird watching societies. It could be bushwalking groups or outdoor adventure groups, things like that. So identifying, where your most represented customer or customers hangs out. What else do they do? What sort of clubs or groups, societies, membership organizations might they be part of? Okay, so that is just limitless, the opportunity for partnerships with clubs and groups and societies. Okay, wedding and event planners, they're always looking for new experiences to elevate their events, their weddings. I've actually had conversations with wedding and event planners in my inner circle in recent times. They're like, oh my God, it's amazing. I'm constantly getting new types of experiences that are reaching out wanting me to come out there and check out what they do. And we're finding a place in our plans for them. So yeah, we're always on the hunt for new types of products, experiences, and activities. Okay, so wedding and event planners, great opportunities, one that you could potentially explore. Language schools, English, ESL, English as a second language students, English as foreign language students. So, they're all over the world. There's hundreds and hundreds in every major center in Australia. I know they are in other places as well. And the organizers, the school principals, the directors, those tasked with onboarding and immersing their students are always, prime for great experiences that are going to elevate the experience that they have in destination and in their school. So golden opportunity, language schools and English as a second language students, partnerships with other tour activities, experiences in your destination that do things differently to you. Okay, so they serve the same customer, but they do something different within your destination. Or it could be people or tour operators that do something very similar to you, but in a slightly different destination. Okay, who do you share a customer with? Who could you work towards, or who work with? Who could promote your stuff, and in turn you promote theirs? Okay, to the same kind of people. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So that could be another channel that if you haven't explored it, or you might have done it just on a surface level, you could really turn that up and create like a seamless strategy to grow the business through partnerships and collaborations with other tour and activity experience business owners. Okay, so there's 8 ideas. Okay, so let's say, for example, you're a business owner that right now you've really got 2 major channels, being like direct or OTAs, and maybe you do like bits and pieces, dribs and drabs through hotels or you might have 1 or 2 agents that send you a couple of bookings a year. So what I want you to do is think about how you could create that sales wagon wheel where you've got, let's say, somewhere between 5 and 7 pieces of pie. You've probably already got 2, directs and OTAs. So when I say direct, I'm talking direct organic or through paid ads. Okay, so the SEO work you're doing on your website, driving people to your site, or the ads you're running to drive people to your site. I would class that as one channel. Another channel would be online travel agents. So many of you already have 2 of those. Okay, where's the other 5 going to come from, or the other 3 going to come from? Okay, so as a minimum, I would suggest that you give this some thought, you digest this little training, and you make a decision on minimum 3 additional sales channels that you want to roll your sleeves up, knuckle down, and start growing. Okay, you might choose 5. Okay, you might be going large. Awesome. All right, but as a minimum 3, and they're the ones that we're going to kick off. Okay, so you know what happens if you get it wrong? Nothing. You just go back and we just make a different decision. Okay, but for now, based on what you know about your business, based on the types of customers that you may have served from time to time previously, okay, based on your destination, I want you to think about 3 unique sales channels that you want to really dive into and start growing. They may be completely new, or they may be channels that you have had this little dribs and drabs of success through, but just haven't done it right. Okay, so that's all you need to do now. You need to decide on those 3 channels that you're going to explore, you're going to grow your business through. Could be 5, could be 4. And then I want you to just jump into the Facebook group and post it. Tell people about the decision you've made. Where are you going to grow your business? Okay, that's what I want you to do, and I'll see you over in the next lesson.